Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Creative DeZine. I'm Isabel, and today we will be continuing this project. I can't believe that it's already been 5 episodes, and we have today and another one at the end of November. Personally, I have been so happy to see how this project evolved. I had a plan, but I love to be pleasantly surprised, and this project was definitely one of them and learned a lot along the way. So I'm hoping that if you're working with your own personal zine along as well, that you are learning as you go as well, as one should, right? Hi to people in the chat. We have Jack. We have, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to butcher that. I'm so sorry. Is it Mwandwa? And yes, Umacorn, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay. Today, it would all be about merch. So we have finished the zine last time, like the zine layout, and we have prepared it to send to printer, or we also looked at how to do it if you were printing it at home. Because I did brush over that very quickly, I do want to go over that. But before we do this, I also want to mention that InDesign is playing a little trick on me, and the link for the presentation is not is broken at the moment, but I'm actively working on it. So if you do watch the replay, hopefully that by then the link will be like fixed, but we can follow the presentation right here. So again, before we get into looking and working together, I have a big giveaway. So make sure to stay tuned until the very end of this stream. I am mega excited to say that the Ottawa Design Club is launching a new zine tomorrow. We have a big event tomorrow. I have not been sleeping for the past 3 weeks. This is one of our very zines. So if you stay until the end, you can win this edition. And if you are a print geek like I am, there's a lot of cool effects on here. I don't know if you can see, but there's iridescence and there's gold, like metallics, neons, and it's just a beautiful piece of art. I know design for some people isn't art, but to me, this is definitely art. You can also win the chance to win the Creative DeZine zine that I have printed. It's super cute. It will also show you how everything is folded and has a QR code to all of the episodes of this stream. And I also have some stickers, which we will be working on today. This is one of them with our little CJ mascot and the crew. I'm trying to get like closer to the screen. There you go. So make sure to stay until the end because this is a massive getaway. I need a giveaway. I'll have a sip of coffee on that because whenever I trip on my words like this, that means that I need a bit more sleep. So if you're new to this stream, what is a zine? A zine is a small circulation, usually self-published. You can use it for like anything fun, or if you like, it was also used for political movement if you want to pass a message or raise awareness on something. And here we have a quick description of the project. Again, once that link is back up, you can definitely go back and read it. Thanks for saying this, Jack. Very excited for this as well. Quick recap over the past episodes. We have built our full characters, the storytelling. We also built our library, which you will see. This is the personalities. This is the library, which we will be working from again today. And the library, yes, a little bit redundant, a lot of work, repetitive work to do all this, but it is needed within your workflow to have this. Like, see it as if you were building this for your client, but in this case, you are your own client and you are like just setting yourself up to have an easy flow for that personal project of yours. This is the font that we have been using. This is the sort of logo type. We can call it a logo. This is the palette that we have been working from. Again, if you are new, once that link is fixed, you have access to the template to work from. So this is available to you. And this is how to fold the zine at the end. So I'll just want to show you quickly that I have made some YouTube videos for you that shows how to cut your zine either with a scissor or using an X-Acto. Again, these links, I will actually add it in the comments once this live is done. And it will also be in the presentations, as you can see. And there is sound to it. So what's the new thing now? Is it ASMR where it's like, just like tiny noises? It's actually soothing to watch, like when you hear like that paper cut. So yes, so this is all there for you in order to have a smooth project and that you understand the full idea and how to make it work. Okay. So last time we were working on building that zine, we built like each of the little squares. We looked at how you can rotate your full artboard in order to like see it in the right way. But I also wanted to show you the layers. So if we go here to the layers panel and we see the cut line and the score lines, this would mostly be if you were going to send it to the printer, because here the score line is basically where they apply like a light pressure. So then whenever they fold the paper, it just folds perfectly and it helps the paper to not break, like to break the fiber of the paper. When you fold yourself like a piece of paper, sometimes you have like that white stuff that comes out. So this helps to do that. And that's the score lines. And then the cut line is where you need to cut in order to fold it properly. So if I do remove my artwork, this is how it looks like. I'm just going to zoom on it. So you only cut from here to here. And this is in the middle, here to here. And if I remove the cut line, this is the score line. So essentially, if I add back my artwork, wherever there's a gray line, this is where everything is folded. Let me actually make that cut line a little thicker so we can see it better, just because it is in the same color palette as our full zine. So yes, I did win all on this project. It was hours and hours, but again, I always try to have project that has that gives something more than just building it, that I wanted to print after and have fun with it. But yes, so if ever you were to send all this to the printer, I would also suggest that you add into your layer like do not print, because then when they get that PDF file, they will see that. And you're sure that you won't have any of the gray lines or that red line if you're using some of the files that I have gave you. Now, once you have that, once you have like your zine printed, it's time to build a full universe for your character, right? Like you're offering a universe for your audience, for your readers. So having merch to complement that is always a good idea. So here I'm referencing a lot of like my personal experience with launching zines. Like I said, I can't believe that this is my 6th one. And we have realized, and I say we because I have a full team, shout out to them, by the way, that the audience really loves stickers. They love like anything that is branded with the zine, such as if it's tape for the packaging, any little touch point that they can engage with what they're buying creates that universe and that unique experience. So I have some examples here that we will be working on today. I have a tote bag, a little button, and that tape. That tape would be again for that packaging. So let's hop right away into Photoshop and work on this. I have found those mockups. It's from Mr. Mockups. Actually, they have a really great library from actually free, and you can easily find them if you search them in Behance. So if I go to my layers panel, just gonna make sure I have the selection tool on. So with mockups, you always need to obviously check your layers, but I'll show you something that I like to do. So here we have the handle. I think black works in our case. Then we have the bag. If ever I'm trying to find it, I'll just use the eye to see, and then add your design here. So I'm going to click on that, which is a smart object. But what I do like to do after is actually going to image and seeing the image size. I personally don't like to work with a lot of layers in Photoshop. This is just like a personal choice. So I love Illustrator. I feel like I have mastered Illustrator. I mean, I always can learn from it, but like inside out. So whenever I'm here, I will look at the width and the height of the canvas that I'm working from. So here it's 2,999, 3,300 pixel. And I'm going to go back into, just going to save this, back into Illustrator and build the exact same canvas for it. So I have it now, and I'm just going to go and save this. I'm going to call it totes. Tote bag. Totes means something else. Totally. Perfect. And now that we have the asset again, which did get messy over time, I should do a good cleanup. I'm going to select our main mascot here, bring it onto here. And because I have not expanded my lines, but that was by design, I'll just need to add a bit more stroke because we're working with a big canvas here. That looks good. And because with the tote bag, everyone is going to see it like outside into the world, I want to make sure that we have the word mark for it. Just being very conservative when I put everything in the library because it's quite small. I'm going to remove series because it's not serving me right now. I'm going to hold the shift key because I'm going to rotate this. Actually, even though I was holding the shift key, it's not perfectly straight, but I can always come here and fix that. Just want to make sure that I'm using the same colors as what we have used on the actual zine that is printed. And I feel like juice. Perfect. I'm going to send that in the back. Trust the process. I feel like I have been saying this for the entirety of this full episode streams. Just making sure that everything is centered. Save that. Then I'm going to go back into Photoshop. Going to File, Place Link. I'm going to go and find my Illustrator file, say OK. Now it's doing that because I didn't put a background color. No problem, we can easily fix that. It's because I don't have a background color, it wants like the full like design to take the full canvas on Photoshop. But if I actually put a white background like so, I need to actually redo this, relink it, which is not a problem. Because you know what? Whenever you're showing something, repetition is key. to learn. So see how it fit perfectly the canvas that we are working with in Photoshop. What I do like about this process is that you can easily take this after, and let's say specifically if you're working for a client, like I know that in this instance, we're working for like for a personal project, but even let's say that after that, you do want to bring it and you do want to like make that merch, then it's really easy to take your Illustrator files and send it. It's because it's already in the proper format for printing or merchandising and all that. Whereas if it was designed in layers, you would have to fully recreate it in order to send that EPS file to the printer. So actually, this is just a tad too small for me, but I'm going to show you what I also like about this, because yes, I had to relink with the background, but technically, if you update it here, it's also, and I'm just going to use my align tool to make sure it's properly centered. I save it here. I go back to Photoshop. It's technically already updated. It's bigger. And then see, now it's bigger, and it just updates everything super quickly. So I also love the fact that it allows that quick and like easily editable way of working. Now, if ever I wanted to present all of this to I say an investor, but yes, like a sponsor. If you have worked with sponsors before, which could be a thing with Zine, because printing is, let's be honest, extremely expensive. You could use mock-ups like this in order to showcase what is everything going to look like. I just want to make sure. So color here, and I'm just going to go in color pick just to make sure that everything is looking good. And again, when it comes to the full branding identity of that project, you want to make sure that it's living in a specific universe, right? So everything is cohesive and looks good. There you go. Pretty happy with this tote bag. I'm just going to save that. It's not the exact same as what was shown in the presentation at the beginning. Because another thing that you can do, and maybe we can quickly look at that, is for tote bags, let's say you're bringing it to a silk printing, you would only work with a few colors. So another thing that you can do, actually, let me go and fetch the one that I have already done. Another thing that you can do is also have two colors. So that way, like you kind of know where everything is going, and then they can prepare that. And I don't know, I think it's like a plaque for whenever they put like the ink on it. There's a lot that you can do with print. And as you can see, I'm nerding out right now. Okay, what would be the next merch? Let's look at I have stickers. So stickers obviously is a good one to add, but I really want to do this tape here. So yes, we're going to build a mock-up, but the way that we're going to build the tape is very easy. And you can also send that directly to, let's say, a third party like Sticker Mule, and they will take care of making sure that your tape and looks like your vision. So again, if we go back to the layers, go here. Oops, pretend you haven't seen that. Image size, same thing. And I'm writing it down because I never remember, whenever I do this, I never remember the numbers. So we had like 875. I'm curious to know, chat, like, have you ever used the linked artboards like this in Photoshop for your mockups or in other projects. I'm curious to know, how did you do that? Or if this is something new that you want to try. Oops. Just call it tape 2. And because we're changing the format a lot, and I feel that with the full, again, universe that we have created, if we look at the assets, yes, we have all of the characters and we have like I mean, this is for this show here, but we have the word mark here. But I feel like you can also be creative in the other assets that we have built. Like maybe we should build the tape that has speech bubble with it. So let's do that and see how that looks. Thank you for saying that, Jack. You are absolutely right. So I'm just gonna read that. So good tip, very important to consider the limitation of your material when making mock-ups to present a realistic picture to the client. Exactly. Whether it's your client, maybe it's like in this case for my personal project, like I said, it would be sponsors. And most of the time, from what I have realized is you have that creative vision. And even if you're explaining it or like you're writing it down, it's really hard for other people to understand, specifically if they are not visual people. For instance, like we had sponsors that, like even printers, right? When you're trying to explain that full vision, I usually like to send a sketch of exactly what I want so they know and you know, like my idea, and by doing so there's no miscommunication. Okay, let's do this. That's good. And because I know we have 4 different tapes, just going to create 4 artboards. Gonna design them. So myself, I have never done it. I am learning something new here. Well, good. I'm happy that you are learning how to use like Illustrator and Photoshop at the same time. You know what I feel like doing? I kind of like when there's design that's bleeding outside and it's not necessarily always linear. And I can show you how we can do this, even if you're sending it to a printer. Let's flip that like this. And I kind of like the idea of having it like being like on both sides, because if we do look back at our zine like this, we have like it's using both sides, and when you fold it together, it's going to be like linear, right? It's going to be in the proper way of looking at it. But I kind of like that the tape, which is something that, you know, again, it's kind of a fun touch point to have, doesn't have to be readable from only like the top to bottom. That's what I meant to say. So basically, if you wanted this to work, let's say we wanted to make it bleed, I would just make sure that there's nothing touching the edges here, because this is where it's going to be repeated, and you don't want to have a half shape that is repeated, but you can definitely make it bleed like this. Let's create like a crazy pattern here. And again, this is for your printer. For the matter of building mockups, that is totally okay. And if you want a good tutorial on building patterns, if you're interested in that, I have hosted Rachel Taylor twice. I was very lucky to do that. earlier this year, and her live stream is very phenomenal. There's one where it was Barbie inspired, so it was pretty cool. Not that you should leave this stream. Make sure that you stay till the end of this stream. Okay, perfect. Now, I want to do something fun with the arms, because again, I think it could be a cool tape idea. And again, I think it creates some mystery a little bit. And again, curious to know if you have done a zine before, if you had no idea what it was until you fell upon this stream. Like I'm curious to know. I do personally stumble upon a lot of people that will say, what's a zine? And usually when they read the word, they say Zine. Which, funny story, is the exact reason why I called this show Creative DeZine, because people read it Creative Design, and phonetically, I cannot say that word. It sounds the same as the word design for designing. So it was kind of a fun play on a word here. Thank you, CF, the arms. And I think we can also have fun with the legs as well for this tape idea. I don't know if you had the chance to. I have not shown everything because, like I said, built a lot of content for all this. But in one of the downloadables, a zine that you can print yourself at home with the full Creative Juice stories, in order to show emotion, because that was another challenge, that when we looked at the storytelling part of building the assets, right? Like we needed to kind of know where we were going. But even when we were personally, there you go. When I was building this, here we all have mascots, but they can't necessarily be the four of them together because there's not enough room. So I kind of like the idea sometimes of just having their faces like this with a speech bubble. And it does create like a different reading, and it makes it fun, and it reinvents to the way that you can storytell for your readers. Thank you, Jack, for adding the stream from Rachel. And again, I'm so sorry if I'm not saying your your name properly, but is it Mandois? I learned about zines from here. It has been an interesting journey here. Oh, well, I'm so happy that you got the chance to learn. So I'm on YouTube right now, and Caroline, my good friend, she said, it's actually really funny. I am currently visiting Izzy at her place, and I can hear the presentation from here. You go, girl. Thank you so much for watching. There must be an echo because there's sometimes like a short delay between talking and what's being streamed. So she's hearing me twice here. Okay, so if we go back to the tape, and if ever you're wondering, like, okay, what I'm doing okay, like how does it look? You can always go to view and just do trim view. This is something that I'm ashamed to say that I have learned just quite recently, but it just like allows you to see, okay, like if it was trim, like it would be like that. And you can then adjust your designs. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Just going to make another one very quickly. And because we already have the faces here, just going to copy paste that. And something I have noticed whenever, it's fine. Sometimes whenever I do change the line weight, I'm losing the property. Oh, see here, wherever I'm highlighting this, I'm losing the property that I do want to have a round cap for my lines. So I just want to make sure that this is like there. And there you go. Hello, Elicio. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us. I also want to add that I have heard your comments. There was a few comments in the like previous stream that it was hard to find the previous shows. So now I have asked Adobe to add all the links in the description so you can easily access them there. And again, with the presentation, all the links are there. The schedule is there. But it's easier if you're already on YouTube or Behance. To just access the description. So everything is there for you. Just want to make sure that this is all grouped. Didn't do my job properly in the library asset. Just making sure it's aligned and center that. I like this like this. Hello, Eduardo. Thank you so much for tuning in. And what else should we do? Should we do maybe one that has this one here? Very simple for the tape. Oops. I think I need a new keyboard because sometimes I have to group many times before it actually groups with the shortcuts. Okay, so we have all of our artboards ready. Let's do just a quick trim view. So that's what tape would look like. And let's just see how that is going to look like in Photoshop. So here we have the smart object layer. I go to place link. I'm going to find, and what I like is because I have already, I have 4 artboards, so it's actually asking me which one do you want. Now I did forget to do something here where maybe have a background color. So actually just me go remove the trim view. I'm going to copy paste my, oops, color palette. Here I also need to change the eyelids. This is great. Same thing with this here. So I'm curious to know if you, whenever you do order a book, or even if you order from your favorite store, whenever there's added swag, if you want, how do you feel? And which extra swag do you like to receive? Let's save that, go back here, do that again, place link. Oh, it just needs to save. heavy file. Perfect. So you just need to wait a second. And now we have everything just falling perfectly. And when we go to, where is it? Oh, that one was inside. It's actually super cool inside. This is a happy accident I'm very happy with. Let's see what it looks like too with the on the outside. Oh, it's a different, I didn't do the proper canvas size for that one, but it's okay. I mean, this is looking super cool to me. I don't know what you all think, but let's just see what's the image size for this. It's not that different. Because that's the other thing too. We can always go and fix it. And we will do that. Jack saying, I always love a good sticker. Me too. But then I love my stickers so much and I don't want to use them. And then I end up like not using them at all because I find them so precious. So here I'm just changing the width with the same size as the tape because I was not working from the right one. Is that all part of the process? Sometimes you mess up. Sometimes you mess up on live. I mean, it's not messing up. It's just, it happens to the best of us. Okay, so let's try it again. Place link. Then we need a minute to save. And you'll see when it's ready, whenever it's like kind of grayed out, then we can pick. See, it's again falling perfectly. And I do want to go change the side to this, and let's do it too for the top tape. There you go. Perfect. And I do like to just close everything back because there is a lot of layers in that one. Perfect. Save. Just use that color picker, it goes super quickly. I mean, I'm really liking this. I find that this mock-up is actually better than the one that I had showed you at the beginning. What do we think about that? Or do you agree? Have you ever had to do a project twice because you have lost your first files for X reason? And then when you did it again, it ended up being better? This is probably the inside. That's why the canvas isn't fitting perfectly. Yeah, that's it. That's what I thought. But see how it's making for a very efficient way of working. And like, yes, it's repetitive, but once it just goes quickly. Like we have done all of this and we still have 20 minutes left to this stream, over an hour. So I'm all for working efficiently Time is a very precious resource. Sometimes I personally think time is even more precious than money. I mean, I do like money too. Who doesn't? Let's be honest. But yeah, I do like to make sure that, you know, I find somewhat of a balance within all of the things that I'm doing, and making sure that you find kind of your flow like this in order to make efficient work truly helps. I actually want this as a background. That looks better. So, hey, we have the tape here. What do we think about that? And I haven't checked YouTube in a bit. So, hey, Arlene, thank you so much for being here. And I saw Bree too earlier, I think. Thank you so much. Always nice to see some familiar names on here, and truly appreciate your support, everyone. Let's just save this. And now let's do some stickers. So another thing that you might encounter for sticker printing is that sometimes you need to create the die cut line. So we're going to see how to do this in Illustrator. So I'll just exit that, still keep the creative juice assets. So usually I like to work for sticker, like if I'm never looking, these are actually quite small. They're like about 2 inches. Well, this would be 3 inches by 2 inches. It's quite small. So let's put it at 3 by 3. Just like a good, you know, significant sticker that people feel like they're getting something out of it, you know? Sorry. Just going to save that. And again, I'm going to show you how to send that to the printer if you do want to not use a third party and support your local printer. What do we want as sticker? Oh, let's do this one. It's definitely challenging, but I love Moo. This is our character Moo. Moo is milk, and she's about milking opportunity, pun intended. And I find that Moo is such a vibe whenever it's like writing for Moo. Like she is a vibe. Let me just do this. Here, I feel like I need to do 1.5 to be happy with it. One was actually better. Perfect. So we have this here. Now, if we wanted to have a nice die cut, so basically that means like it won't be a square. You want to like cut it around. If, again, you're going to the printer, you need to provide that line of where they're going to cut, and they will walk that through a specific printer machine. So what I usually like to do for this, and this is like not necessarily like a one process thing. Sorry. I will create one shape like this and make it just a little bit bigger. Now, because we have like the arms and like there's a lot of details here, like if ever I do bring it at the back like this, we can see that it's not necessarily sitting properly. We will need to adjust that, but that is okay. But sometimes I do find that just starting with this helps me to, again, just be a little more efficient. So the arms here will be a little complicated. So what I'm going to do, let's just make sure that, there you go, this is good. Going to copy a lot of the background like so. And I'm going to use the Pathfinder to cut wherever I need to move, like the arm and bring it elsewhere. So I just drew a line here. I'm going to select that and cut it. Sometimes if your line isn't at the proper space, we'll do this. This is definitely going to work. There you go. Ungroup. Then I can use this. I'm also going to use this after. Just going to keep one as reference. But then, as you can see, we can start building off of that. And we may not have the time to fully do it. But if we don't, I'll make sure to make a video and I'll add it on YouTube and add it on the presentation. So see, this is still like acting a little funny, but that is okay because what we can do is create a shape, just like a circle, like so. And this is finicky. What if you try to unite the background and then offset the path? Will that work? It would definitely work. But I don't necessarily want to use the exact same shape. I kind of want to build something fun with it. So that's why just like experimenting here. Like I said at the very, very beginning of this stream, I'm letting happy accident for this for this full show, which is a very new way for me to work, to be honest, because everything is like usually super prepared. But at the same time, as this is a personal project, I kind of like to offer this this way of working. It's actually, how can I say, almost therapeutic because I'm used to work for clients and like zines and stuff like that, where everything is very rigid and we have a lot of rules to follow. So this has been really fun. So on that, I'm curious, who here is currently working on a personal project? I'd love to know. Going to duplicate that. And then flip it around. Oops, there you go. Perfect. Now I'll do the same thing here and I will cut the other arm off. That was a little saw-like. I can't watch horror movies like Saw, but I just know, like I've never watched any of them. I have nightmares easily, but I just know that they're like, I don't want to even go there. So here, because I want to actually remove this, I'm just going to my pen tool and I'm like just pressing on the minus because I want to remove the excess anchors. And this will also allow me to have a straight line. That. And I'm just going to lock Moo in place, to be honest. So that way, I'm actually also going to remove the legs before we do anything. Again, Pathfinder, at that, ungroup. Another way that you also can create your die cut line would be to have, or create using your pen tool and just trace it. Sometimes I find that I end up restarting it many times because I'm never happy with the shape, or it's not symmetrical enough. So there you go. This is a way to prevent that, or just to build it like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to, and I always make a copy again, so I can always go back to it if I need some editing, but I'm going to merge everything together like this. And I'm also going to do the same like this, which actually works. Oops. Maybe we will have the time to do it if I'm quick. The pressure's on, the pressure's on. Oops. Do a rectangle. That's it. It's a lot of finicky work. But creates some good results. And like I said, having like added merch like this, like as part of the experience for your readers, definitely helps to make an impression. And that's what you want to leave at the end of the day. Also, by giving more than what you're basically that your audience is buying, you're giving them the impression that they are like there's more for their money. So automatically have like this happy feeling. And you always want them to associate your brand or your offerings with happy. I want to just make sure everything is centered. So this might be a little hard. We could remove that, or I'm just going to keep it like that for now. Actually, this here is a little too tight. So there's always a bit of adjustments that has to happen at the end. And this is where you see like, okay, after all, I thought Moo was built in a symmetrical way, but we have like used the reflect tool for this, and it's not necessarily aligning. As you can see, this is bigger than this one, which is totally okay because you can always adjust that. But if you were to send to, you wanted this to send to the printer, what you would do is actually have your full background, that color. You'll send it to the back. Remove the inside color for this, just keep your outline. And usually I use like a very flashy color, oops, for the outline like so. I would do it on another layer, which I will call die cut. Print it on this. I am not removing the one under for now because I just want to make sure that it's aligning perfectly with what I had. I'm going to lock it, go back to my first layer. I'm going to name artwork. And I'm going to remove what we had there. So this is how you would send it. And then they would know to cut on the pink line right here. So we are already at the end of this stream. I can't believe how like it always goes super quickly. Again, sorry we don't have the presentation ready, but it will be working in a few, hopefully tomorrow. But now is the time for our draw for the new Renaissance zine. So you have to type in a word, and the word of the day will be merch. So write 1, 2, 3, go, type merch in the chat, and then you could be winning a Renaissance zine, a creative DeZine, some stickers. I actually have not shown the Renaissance stickers, but they are so nice. We decided to go for gold foiled for that one because there's a lot of gold in the Renaissance zine. As you can see, I'll just open this. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. So chat, let's go. Merch. And if you are the winner, if I do name your name, make sure to reach out to my Instagram, and you can send me your address, and I will be mailing you a zine, and we'll get to you very quickly. Here is the next schedule. The schedule for the Creative DeZine. Our next episode is on November 28th. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to check out Behance as well, and we can also have a conversation there. These are my handles for social media. And let's pick a winner here. We have Misty. Misty, you are the winner for everything. So please make sure to send me a message on Instagram. And thank you so much again for tuning in for this stream. It's always a blast to be here. And until next time, we will be designing a launch campaign on Adobe Express. Thank you so much. Take care.